Back in August 2022, I was invited by Joel Ashton to help out with a pond he was constructing. I of course jumped at the chance to meet up with professional landscape gardener, pond builder, author and YouTuber Joel. Little did I know I was in for a day of back-breaking manual labour and lots of dirt and mud. So today I'm with Joel from the Wild Your Garden YouTube channel, and he's going to show me a little bit about building ponds. Now, building a pond is something I've always wanted to do in my own garden, but I've always put it off because I just don't really know much about it. I don't really know how to do it. I don't want to mess things up. So hopefully today we'll pick up a bit of tips and learn a little bit how to make a pond. So first of all, thank you very much, Joel, for inviting me down here today.
You're very welcome.
It's very nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you for coming. Appreciate all your efforts so far.
That's right. So first of all, ponds, you're the expert in building ponds. How many ponds do you think you've dug over the years?
Exactly, or
well,
roughly? I do like to keep a bit of a tally. I don't know why. Maybe I'll just announce it one day and say, hey, I've done 1,000 ponds. No, I think I'm at about 112 or 113 at the moment, but you know, it is what it is. I'm very fortunate to have a job that I love, and yeah, but it is hard work, as you're finding out today. It's,
yes, I've been doing
especially
bit of
something this
today,
big.
Yeah. So what is it about ponds that you find so, what is so important about ponds?
Well, I mean, they're the source of all life, aren't they? You know, they provide for absolutely everything in a garden. You'll get foxes, hedgehogs, badgers, bats hunting over them, birds drinking and bathing, you know, newts, frogs, toads, butterflies and bees using the wildflowers around the margins, bees drinking the water as well. So they really do cater for absolutely every form of life, and to me it's the best thing that I think anybody could put in their own garden. Anyone watching this who's looking for some inspiration, a pond is the best thing you can put in, even if it's small, and even if you haven't got a massive space or you're in rented accommodation, then try a barrel pond, you know, because they can be just as good as long as you've got some access in and out for, you know, the invertebrates and birds and things to bathe and drink. So yeah, barrel ponds are very good as well, and of course you can have them on something like a balcony, even if people are in a flat. Right. So
yep.
But generally a source of water in any sense is fantastic for a garden, I find.
Great. Well, we've got quite a sizable pond that we're digging out today, so I think perhaps we'll go and have a look at the pond and see what kind of work needs to be done, and you can tell me what needs to be done.
Sure.
The day started off with Joel in the digger getting the impressively sized pond to its desired depth. One of the important things Joel was looking for was the subsurface soil. You can see where the colour of the soil changes to a lighter grey colour. This layer of soil is important to reach, as it will be needed later. Joel and I were joined by Vincent, seen here getting stuck in with a shovel, making sure the pond shelf was reasonably flat and clear of rocks. Well, here I am. Joel and Vincent behind me are working on the pond there. They're doing a bit more digging out, and then hopefully later on today we're going to be getting in the liner. So I'm going to see if I can lend a hand, and I'll speak to you in a bit. You might not believe me, but a quirk of digital cameras was set to ruin my day. It turns out many digital cameras can't handle filming for long periods of time. So the times where I'd set up my camera to film while I got into the pond with a shovel all became corrupted. Only the shorter sections of filming were usable, and those were generally the times I was behind the camera. I promise you I was doing my bit, even though I didn't get much myself on camera. Unfortunately, this does result in missing some important steps in the pond building process. Well, I hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment of this video too much. A lot of soil had to be moved, and here you can clearly see the lighter coloured subsoil. This is rich soil, and this layer of soil will be used to fill the pond back in once the liner has been laid. This will give a perfect foundation for directly planting the pond plants in, so the pots and baskets are not needed, and this will give the pond a much more natural appearance. Joel takes very precise measurements to make sure the pond is at the required depth, that it is not significantly higher on any one side. I was half hoping Vincent would take a tumble here and slide down into the muddy water at the deepest part of the pond, something I had done only moments earlier. Sadly, Vincent had grippier shoes than me and managed to retain his footing. The advancement of the shadows might tell you how long this process had taken us so far. This was not a small pond and had taken a significant amount of hard work to get to the stage where the liner could be laid. The next step would be to lay the underlay. Unfortunately, this is one of the steps missing due to the corruption of some of my longer video files, but I do have a clip of me heroically pushing the extremely heavy rubber pond liner up the steep bank of the pond.
I think he's got it. I think he's having it. So he's got a slight kink. Even the green woodpecker found it funny. Bearing in mind it's the end of a long day, he's still going for it. He's having it. Mate. There's only one word for that. Well, I was going to say bosh. You said 2 words, but you know, smashed it, it's allowed.
Once the rubber pond liner had been unrolled, unfolded and arranged properly, the next step Joel likes to do is to lay down another layer of underlay. This helps protect the rubber liner once the soil is used to fully line the pond. By this time we've been joined by 2 of Joel's colleagues who expertly showed us how to efficiently line a pond. The next step was to use the subsoil dug out earlier to line the pond. This involved a digger, some wheelbarrows and some major hard graft. The shirtless young Aidan was a shining light in the growing darkness, gleefully going about his work, loudly proclaiming that he loves the grind, getting stuck in like only someone much younger than myself could. But slowly the pond liner was covered by the soil. Here's a rare piece of footage showing that I did actually pick up a shovel and help. By this point we were working under the digger's floodlights as we were easily surpassing a 12-hour shift. But just as we were losing all working conditions, this stage of the pond building was completed and it was ready to be filled with water. So the pond's been dug out, it's been lined and it's been filled back in with the subsoil. How do you think the job's gone so far?
Horrifically. Well, what time is it now? About 9:30.
It's about that, yeah.
Yeah, God.
So
But the tap is on, that's the most important
yeah,
thing.
so they're being filled up with water now. So how much is left to do? How much more work do you think you've got?
Well, we've got another day. You can't see it this time of night, but there's a small mountain of soil to our sides, which obviously we've got to spread out and just sort of send around the garden. But we've got the sides to top up with topsoil and the final trim of the line to do, but I never do that until the water level is fully up, water levelised in terms of levels obviously. So yeah, once that's up to the top level we can then do a final trim of the liner after the subsoil on the margins is in, and yeah, that's it, then get it planted.
Brilliant. Well, it's certainly been an interesting day, not something I normally do, but I've had...
that's an interesting word to use as well.
No, I've had a good time.
Good.
And yeah, so thanks for letting me come down and watching what you do and trying to pick up a few tips. And
pleasure. No.
And
hope it inspires you to finally get one in your garden.
Yeah, I definitely will. But I think we're out of light and we're out of time. The camera's almost out of battery as well, so I better say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out Joel's channel. I'll leave all the links you need in the description of this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Cheers.